Did you hear what I said? Donna shrieked. If she doesn't have a wolf, then she can't be mated. She can't be our Luna. Trinity tried to ignore the angry she-wolf as Rhys led her up to the stone platform. The moonlight sparkled on Trinity's gown. She kept her eyes lowered, wanting to disappear into the earth.
Calm yourself,
Rhys said. His voice was raspy, and it sounded like he was straining against anger.
This,
he said, placing one large hand upon my back,
is my Luna, Trinity Witten. From this night forward, you will treat her with the respect that she deserves.
Well, this is different. Trinity was surprised that Rhys sounded rather defensive of her. No, I refuse. Donna wasn't letting this go, though. The rage coiled off of her, so palpable Trinity could almost feel it as heat against her skin. Alpha Rhys. She wasn't even in the last group at the Harvest Moon gathering. You didn't even spend any time with her. Maybe you could have mated with somebody else. She doesn't deserve to be our Luna. She's not good enough for you. She's worthless. She shouldn't even be part of this pack. Trinity wished she had a wolf right about now. She could imagine transforming into a snarling beast and ripping Donna apart limb from limb. But because I'm a pathetic, wolfless nobody, I've just got to endure it, she thought. The whole pack held its breath as Rhys gave a low, almost impossible deep growl.
How dare you defy me, he growled.
Trinity's eyes widened. Rhys's anger made everyone in the gathering wince. But Donna was too hurt and furious to stop. Her dreams of becoming Luna and reigning over every other wolf in the pack had been crushed. She cried and stamped her foot. That little nothing is going to bring our whole pack down. You'll see. Trinity cried out in shock as Aunt Eve strode down the crowd and slapped Donna hard across the face. How dare you talk about my niece like that? Aunt Eve looked ready to pounce and rip Donna to shreds. Anger flashed in her eyes. Trinity could feel her aunt's love rushing over her like the soothing current of a river. She held back tears. It was wonderful to have a family that loved her. How dare you attack me? Donna cried. You deserve far worse. My niece is twice the woman you'll ever be, and twice the pack member. The goddess fated her for the alpha, and that's all there is to it. You could have spent the entire night with your arms around his neck, wheedling for attention, but it would have done no good. Trinity and Alpha Rhys are mates. Accept it, or get the hell out of here. Trinity noticed that the alpha looked shocked, and perhaps a little grateful. But she's just not worthy of being Luna, Donna said. Because she can't shift into a wolf? So what? Trinity will unite our people. She is principled, compassionate, and fair. What could you offer our pack? Only petty divisiveness. You're shallow, egotistical, and self-centered. That is the last thing we need in our Luna, Aunt Eve said.
Enough,
the alpha shouted. Both of the women stopped their arguing. Power radiated off of Rhys. He snarled.
What you fail to understand, Donna, and what all of you fail to understand is that this is my mate.
He took Trinity by the hand and pulled her to stand beside him.
There's not going to be a debate about this. You will accept and respect her, or you will face the consequences.
As he spoke, Rhys's teeth began to lengthen into fine points. His wolf's fangs were slick and deadly looking in the moonlight. Donna whimpered in fear.
Now, do all of you understand?
Rhys whispered. Silence reigned.
Good.
Let's proceed with the ceremony, shall we? Elder Frederick appeared beside the couple, looking sweaty and nervous. Yeah, let's do it. Trinity forced a smile. She had to be brave for her pack now. After all, she was their Luna. Aunt Eve was right. She had to be strong for everyone else. The elder had Trinity and Alpha face each other. Trinity's breathing quickened as Rhys's burning golden eyes scanned her face. The tips of his fangs just hung upon his lower lip. She shivered to think of his fangs sinking into her flesh, marking her, making them one forever. Trinity Witten, you stand before your pack and before your mate, Frederick said. Do you vow to put their lives before your own, now until the day you pass on from this world and enter the land of the eternal moon? Yes, Trinity whispered. The Alpha continued to stare at her, making her shiver. Do you vow to uphold pack traditions? Do you vow to follow your alpha mate wherever he shall go, no matter the danger? Do you vow to be the Luna of the Red Springs pack from this night until your final night? Yes. Trinity could scarcely believe this was happening. She felt so dizzy. All that held her up was looking into the Alpha's golden eyes. They seemed to fix her in place. Then, Alpha Reese, please mark Luna Trinity as your mate, Frederick said. He stepped back, and the Alpha slipped one muscular arm around Trinity's waist. She gasped as he whispered into her ear.
Be still. I have to be careful now.
Her heart hammered against her chest. Trinity looked him in the face. The moonlight painted his beauty in silver tones, a complete clash with the burning gold of his eyes. Reese smiled, the fangs extending themselves. They looked like the type of fangs the wolf had in the stories of Little Red Riding Hood. The better to eat you with, my dear.
Are you going to be a good girl?
The Alpha growled. Trinity's face heated. Yes. The Alpha slid his right hand around her waist and placed his left hand upon her shoulders. He tilted Trinity slightly to the left. She felt her hair slide away from her neck and collarbone, exposing her flesh to him. She shivered when the Alpha nuzzled at her hair, then inhaled the scent of her skin. He gave a pleased rumble in his chest. She probably smelled all right, at least. Trinity had never felt someone this close and intimate before. Even though they were in front of a crowd, her mind blocked out everything but him.
Don't scream, he whispered.
Trinity held her breath as he inhaled her fragrance once more before opening his mouth wide and sinking his fangs into her tender flesh. His teeth slid into the bone and muscle where her neck and shoulder meet. The pain was instant and sharp, and she gasped loudly. It hurts. I feel like I'm on fire. Her thoughts were panicked. Pain rushed through her body like a wildfire through a forest. The pain reached every part of her, from the tips of her fingers to her very toes. The pain touched secret, intimate places on her body no one else had ever been allowed to go before. The pain mingled with pleasure, becoming so overbearing that Trinity wondered if she'd faint. Her body trembled and quivered in the Alpha's arms. His jaw clamped down harder, holding her in place and causing her to go completely still. Trinity bit her tongue to stifle a scream. The pain was turning to pure fire now. The heat grew in her shoulder and slowly spread throughout her entire body. The pain burned away, making her feel like she was made completely of fire. Trinity's eyes fluttered shut as she felt something imprint itself on her very soul. Tears flooded her eyes, but she refused to let herself cry. Trinity gazed up in the moon until slowly, mercifully, the pain and the burning began to fade away. She felt Reese's jaws slacken, and then his fangs retracted. He cradled her against his body, letting her feel the pounding rhythm of his heart. The Alpha growled low in his throat as he held her close.
Are you hurt? He asked.
She was, but she also wasn't. She really felt overwhelmed. I think I'll live. Thank you. It was an experience. To her surprise, he gave a brief chuckle. Then Reese licked at her wound a couple times before settling her back on her feet.
Wolves of the Red Springs pack, I present to you your Alpha and Luna.
Frederick beamed as he gestured to Reese and Trinity. This is an exciting night. At last, our pack is whole and strong together. Everyone bow to the leaders of our pack. Trinity felt dizzy as she watched everyone. Even her Aunt Eve and Uncle Wesley kneel on the ground and bow their heads to her. She clung to Reese, desperate to stabilize after the rush of pain and pleasure. She also noticed Donna glare at her in undisguised fury before bowing her head with the rest. To our Alpha and Luna, the pack said in unison. So, Trinity muttered, still holding tight to Reese. I guess this is a no-take-back kind of deal?
Why must you make jokes right now?
He sounded irritated. It's my defense mechanism, Trinity drawled. You'll get used to it. She stiffened as her new mate pressed his lips to her ear.
I suppose I have no choice, he muttered. Like you said, there are no takebacks here.
True. Trinity was now marked and mated for life. She could never be free again. What had she gotten herself into?
Don't let your excitement die! The full audio series is on the Pocket FM app. Tap the link in the description to install now.